Welcome back to the channel, hockey fans. Today we will look at the career of the smooth skating speedster, Paul Coffey. Paul Coffey played for 9 teams over 21 seasons in the National Hockey League. Known for his speed and scoring prowess, Coffey ranks second all-time among NHL defensemen in goals, assists, and points, behind only Ray Bourque. He won the James Norris Memorial Trophy as the NHL's best defenseman 3 times, and was voted to 8 end-of-season All-Star teams, 4 first team, and 4 second team. He holds the record for the most goals by a defenseman in one season, 48 in 1985-86, and is the only defenseman to have scored 40 goals more than once, also doing it in 1983-84. He is also one of only 2 defensemen to score 100 points in a season more than once, as he did it 5 times. Bobby Orr did it 6 times. Coffey holds or shares 33 NHL records in the regular season and playoffs. During his NHL career, he played for the Edmonton Oilers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Los Angeles Kings, Detroit Red Wings, Hartford Whalers, Philadelphia Flyers, Carolina Hurricanes, Chicago Blackhawks, and Boston Bruins. He is a 4-time Stanley Cup champion, winning 3 times with Edmonton and a 4th with Pittsburgh. Coffey was born in Weston, Ontario, and grew up in Malton, Ontario. The city of Mississauga renamed Malton Arena to Paul Coffey Arena and Wildwood Park, Paul Coffey Park, in a ceremony on September 23, 2016. In 2017, Coffey was named one of the 100 greatest NHL players in history. Coffey was drafted 6th overall by the Edmonton Oilers in the 1980 NHL entry draft. He blossomed in the 1981-82 season, scoring 89 points and was named a second-team NHL All-Star. In the Oilers' first Stanley Cup winning season, 1983-84, he became only the second defenseman in NHL history to score 40 goals in a season and added 80 assists to finish second in point scoring. He won his first James Norris Memorial Trophy in 1984-85 while posting 37 goals and 121 points. On December 26, 1984, in a game against the Calgary Flames, Coffey became the last defenseman in the 20th century to score 4 goals in one game. Coffey went on to post a historic postseason in the 1985 playoffs, setting records for most goals, 12, assists, 25, and points, 37, in one playoff year by a defenseman on the way to another Stanley Cup. He won the Norris Trophy again in 1985-86, while breaking Bobby Orr's record for goals in a season by a defenseman, scoring 48. His 138 points that year was second only to Orr, 139, in 1970-71 among defensemen. Coffey helped Edmonton to a 3rd Cup in 1986-87, but the deciding Game 7 of that year's Stanley Cup Finals against the Philadelphia Flyers would be his last in an Oiler uniform. Coffey had 2 years remaining on a contract that paid him a reported $320,000 a year, but held out at the beginning of the 1987-88 season, wanting the contract renegotiated to pay him $800,000 a year. Team owner Peter Pocklington refused to do so, and offended Coffey by suggesting he lacked courage when playing. Coffey vowed never to put on an Edmonton uniform again and demanded a trade. On November 24, 1987, the Oilers traded Coffey, Dave Hunter, and Wayne Von Dorp to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Craig Simpson, Dave Hannon, Mo Mantha, and Chris Joseph. As the Penguins' Rod Buskus was already wearing uniform number 7, Coffey agreed to change his uniform number from 7 to 77. He would wear it for most of his career until his final season in Boston, where he wore 74. Coffey played 4.5 seasons with Pittsburgh. On December 22, 1990, Coffey became the second defenseman to record 1,000 points, doing so in a record-breaking 770 games. Coffey won a 4th Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh in 1990-91. During the 1992 season, he passed Dennis Potvin to become the career leader in goals, assists, and points by a defenseman. He was then traded to the Los Angeles Kings, where he was reunited with former Oilers teammate Wayne Gretzky and Yari Curry for parts of 2 seasons. After his brief stint with Los Angeles, he was traded to the Detroit Red Wings, where he played for 3.5 seasons. In the lockout-shortened 1994-95 NHL season, Coffey led his team in scoring for the only time in his entire career, and was awarded the Norris Trophy for the 3rd time. In the 1995 playoffs, he led all defensemen in scoring while helping Detroit to the Stanley Cup Finals. However, the favored Red Wings were swept by the New Jersey Devils in 4 games. Coffey would then help the Red Wings to an astounding 62 regular season wins the following year. though the team would ultimately get eliminated by the Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference Finals. During Game 1 of that series, Coffey scored 2 goals but also accidentally scored on his own net after Colorado's Stefan Yell attempted to pass the puck into the slot, but it instead ended up on Coffey's stick. After falling out with Red Wings coach Scotty Bowman, Coffey was traded to the Hartford Whalers at the start of the 1996-97 season as part of a package to acquire Brendan Shanahan, a move that Coffey was unhappy with. Coffey only played 20 games for the Whalers before being traded to the Flyers. He played for Philadelphia for a season and a half, reaching the 1997 Stanley Cup Finals, his 7th, against his former team, Detroit. Coffey's final series was unsuccessful, being on the ice for 6 of Detroit's goals and being in the penalty box for a 7th when the Flyers conceded a power play goal, ending up with no points and being -2 and -3 in the first 2 games. A hit from Darren McCarty in Game 2 left Coffey sidelined for the rest of the series with a concussion. After a very brief stint, 10 games, with the Chicago Blackhawks, he was traded to the Carolina Hurricanes, where he played 1.5 seasons. He played his final season in 2001 with the Boston Bruins. During Coffey's last NHL season, Ray Bourque passed his career goal, assist, and points record, and Bourque and Coffey both retired after the 2001 season. Coffey finished with 396 goals, 1,135 assists, and 1,531 points, and remains second only to Bourque in all-time career scoring by a defenseman. Coffey, however, averaged more points per game than did Bourque, having played 203 fewer games but lagging by only 48 points. Paul Coffey was voted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2004, his first year of eligibility, and the Edmonton Oilers retired his uniform number 7 in 2005. Coffey is a co-owner of the OJHL's Pickering Panthers. He also owned a car dealership in Bolton, Ontario, and he and his wife have 3 children. On November 12, 2023, Coffey returned to the Edmonton Oilers as the assistant coach. Paul Coffey was one of the most electrifying defensemen in NHL history, known for his incredible speed and offensive prowess. In 1998, he was ranked number 28 on the Hockey News list of the 100 greatest hockey players. Coffey and the Oilers made it to Game 7 of the 2024 Stanley Cup Final. They nearly equaled the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs as the only team to return from a 3-0 deficit and win the Cup. Unfortunately, their comeback fell short, and they were defeated 2-1 by the Florida Panthers in Game 7. This year, Coffey and the Oilers are 2 wins from defeating the Dallas Stars for the 2nd consecutive year and reaching the Stanley Cup Final, with a potential rematch against the Florida Panthers. Hey hockey fans, if you like this content, please hit the subscribe button. You can also follow my blog at https://tedtalkshockey.com, and remember to keep your stick on the ice. Thanks for watching.